Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Vast Difference. This episode we are going TV show again. What is better? What is the better sitcom? Okay, the better comedy show. Is it Always Sunny in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or Seinfeld? We got a double header today. Right?
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's one
not to take lightly. We're here to fuck shit up.
We're here to fuck shit up. We are here to destroy, build, destroy. Okay? And not to mention, this is one that me and Blake have had on the back burner for a while because Blake is a far more big Seinfeld fan. I'm a far more big It's Always Sunny fan, which you can tell because, Blake's old as fuck and I'm modern, I'm urban. We get it. Thank you for voting, everyone who voted. Make sure to tell your friends about voting next time when it's, a great episode. We don't know what we're doing next time. You'll know Sunday, but we'll get there when we get there. How do you want to start this episode? You want to go first, or should I go first?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that, we're both fans of both shows.
Oh, yeah,
we just like one more than the other. Some of the things that I say tonight... It's in the moment. It's not how I feel about the show.
Well, let's just get it out of the way. Kramer's right behind us.
Right.
Okay. So obviously, Seinfeld is a big thing in the household over the course of the years, and I'm sure if anyone's listened to our other podcast, 1722, you've probably heard that Blake has watched Seinfeld millennia of time,
right?
Because that's the perfect word to use there. And I've watched Sunny about 5-6 times, but I've also watched all of Seinfeld as well. So this one is we have a
little bit more give and take on this.
Yeah, we have more to add and everything, more to tear down though too at the same time. So.
Well, I think I started the last one, so I think you can go ahead and start this one. You can start talking about It's Always Sunny.
Oh, okay. Would you mind pulling up the synopsis just for the people out there that don't know It's Always Sunny? Which at this point, it came out in 2005, 2006? 2005, okay. So it's on FX. There you go. All right. Let me see where the synopsis is, because so far, the 14th season concluded. Nope, that ain't it. Okay, there we go. Perfect, thank you. Alright, you guys ready for this? Of course you are. The series follows a group of misfits, narcissists, and sociopaths, commonly referred to as the Gang, who can run an unsuccessful Irish bar called Paddy's Pub in the neighborhood of South Philadelphia. The gang originally consists of Charlie, Mac, Dennis, Dee, and then eventually Frank, who is Danny DeVito, which already sets it apart from most shows because Danny DeVito doesn't even do TV. That's one point against you.
True star power.
Yeah, that's ultimate. And not to mention, he's been in 13 of the 14 seasons. Or 14 of the 15, actually.
He's not the richest comedian of all time like Jerry Seinfeld, but...
damn it, you motherfucker. I didn't even think about that. But and It's Always Sunny, they are very different characters. There's plots where Dennis, who's I would say is probably the main character, which they all are, but he's the main one. He's kind of like this very arrogant...
He thinks he's the leader anyway. He's the self-appointed...
Yeah, he thinks he's everything.
They think that his plans usually work the best or whatever. Mm. But I don't... Yeah, that's what makes it fun, is I don't think there is, an official leader.
Because even when Matt comes in with his, whole... I got an idea. All that shit. Oh, man, that's hilarious, too. Which, I would definitely say that Mac is not the leader of that group.
No.
Yeah. How I'm the glue of this, he ain't the glue of that. But I think everything else I would say about it, I don't know. Should I go any more to it?
That's just you just talk about your idea of
it. There's the arc that goes through the whole show, okay? And it's about one of the characters who's just trying to get with a waitress, right? And it says it right here. And in season 2, all that shit happens, and a eccentric millionaire who takes over the ownership of the bar. That's not even spoiler alert because that's in the synopsis, right?
Well, if you haven't seen either of these by now enough to know, exactly. Fuck you. I'm not worried about spoiler alerts.
In 90, and then this show, It's Always Sunny, has been out for almost 20 years.
Right.
So,
it's not spoiler alerts.
Yeah, it's not spoiler alerts at all. I honestly can't tell you if I have a favorite character or not.
Well, I figure we get into characters in a second. I'll explain Seinfeld.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'll start Seinfeld. Do you want to pull it up?
We can have it pulled up just in case. Seinfeld is basically set in New York. It is mainly centered around Jerry's apartment. Kramer is his neighbor from across the hall. George has been his best friend since high school. Elaine and him dated for a brief period, but not on the show. Although they do try hooking back up in an episode and realize it's not for them.
Of course. Will they, won't they? Am I right?
They won't. And so it's pretty similar, actually. There's like 4 characters, which I guess there's actually 5 once you add Frank, right?
Yeah, there's 5.
But still, it's basically 4 characters set in a... Like, they go other places. Like, It's Always Sunny definitely travels more than Seinfeld, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also a lot more seasons, and it was years later, and not a traditional sitcom.
Yeah, TV was different.
Seinfeld is filmed in front of a live studio audience, where It's Always Sunny is shot on location. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot more opportunity of going places where Seinfeld, if they did, the Puerto Rican Day Parade, which is now you can't even watch anymore.
Yeah.
But
you can't watch the Indian episode anymore.
Right.
Like, Seinfeld got a lot of shit in the 90s, even though it's regarded as the most famous sitcom of all time, actually.
Right.
Which, again, that's saying something. I get it, right? I'm not breaking down doors right now, but
if what it comes down to is if I had to choose between the two.
Yeah.
As much as I do love both, because I frequently have watched both, but I would choose Seinfeld forever, every day, because for me it's all about, like, I don't think it gets better than that cast of characters. As much as I do love It's Always Sunny, and I do think their cast is great, but there's something about the chemistry of those 4 and it working together so well, and George being so much like my father. It's the funniest thing on television for me. And even if he wasn't, I just think George is, like,
I don't know if that's really a valid reason, like a character.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm allowed to explain my side of the story, and that's what I'm doing.
All right.
I'm not saying that's the reason why it's a better show. I'm just saying why I love it. But if you want to go character versus character, we can do that. It
says they got catchphrases.
That's true. They are the king of the catchphrase.
Look over there. Catchphrases from Seinfeld include yada yada yada. No soup for you. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There we go.
See, they were for the LGBT years ago. They were rocking with that. Not there's anything wrong with that.
Wow. Okay. See, this is one thing I didn't know about Seinfeld. They have sign language. And they use terms like man hands, shrinkage, regift, and double dip is considered their own words.
Okay. Shrinkage didn't exist till Seinfeld?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then it's the greatest show of all time, right there.
Are you kidding me?
It changed the world. Changed the dictionary.
It's its own. It's not in the dictionary. It's in its own thing.
It's in this dictionary.
Oh my! Just get the fuck out of here! Like, your mind is that smart. See, yeah. See, this is all just stats, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need all stats.
This is all just stats. The reason It's Always Sunny is better, okay? It's because, Seinfeld, you get the cool, you get the clever humor and all that. But what I'm looking for in a great comedy is situations. And as far as I know, nobody gets into situations as much as Sunny does. They've been trying to get murdered. They have almost killed hookers. They dated mental people. They dealt with racism on both sides. They dealt with abortion, right? And again, I get it's a different time, and it's on NBC, which is pussy shit, right? NBC's never had a good show. But at the same time, there are certain situations in Seinfeld that are iconic, like the parking garage and shit. Right?
Many.
And I get that. But if you want to put the parking garage next to them trying to go audition for football, come on.
Well, the thing is that It's Always Sunny is extremely outlandish.
Yeah.
Okay? So it is situational, but so is Seinfeld. Seinfeld is literally probably the most situational TV show of all time.
A lot of it takes place in just his house.
And they take it and they just turn it up a notch. Where It's Always Sunny does episodes of things that would probably never happen to anyone except for maybe one person in the world, right? So Like, for instance, the Chinese restaurant episode. Everyone's been in a situation where you're waiting for a table and you're seeing everyone around you get the table and you're like, why the fuck isn't it happening to me? And you've been telling me I'm waiting this long, and they make it to where it's funny. And they turn that situation into something where most people can relate to it and be able to laugh along with it. Where It's Always Sunny, as much as I do love it, you have to... It's very exaggerated, and you also do have to have a much darker sense of humor, I feel like, to enjoy Seinfeld, or to enjoy It's Always Sunny in comparison to Seinfeld.
Which is a flaw in me, I guess, while watching it, apparently.
Well, no, I mean, it's a flaw in everyone. No, I don't think having a dark sense of humor is a flaw.
I will say, to combat, though, that you said the Chinese restaurant, the Seinfeld did do, like, where, you're waiting on the thing, people don't call you, they call customers ahead of you that just came in, even though you've been there longer. Yeah, that's great. Relatable, right? But It's Always Sunny had the dine out episode. The gang dines out. Okay?
Right.
And you can't tell me that when you've sat down for a dinner and you've seen someone from a church, you've seen a family member, you've seen a friend, whatever, that you don't see in a while, you're not clicking anymore, but they want to, and they're waiting for you to, and then you're just staring at each other, and then you go back to eating, and then you catch an eye again, and then you go back to eating. That shit's also as relatable.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been in both situations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you can't say
but that's the only section of that It's Always Sunny episode that you could say would happen to you. Because no one would be doing that when they see their friends the way they are, constantly switching tables, causing a ruckus, they knock over the fucking waiter, food goes everywhere.
Okay, but you also have Dee in the entire episode trying to order a meal, and she doesn't have enough money, so she's trying to get, like, a comp. Okay, Karen. Let's settle that right here. She's a Karen,
right?
And she's trying to use a Groupon. And then when he says that you can't use a Groupon, she's like, "What about coupons?"
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, no,
like come on. Like again, I know it's like exaggerated, stupid,
but I'm also not going to try to act like Seinfeld doesn't have its outlandish moments because
man hands.
Right, there's definitely episodes, and I would say definitely probably past like the season 6 era. Well, I don't know, even before that, really.
I would say season 8 and on. Which is 8 and 9.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, that definitely. Yeah. But, I mean, because you have, like, where they're in the surgery room watching the surgery, and Kramer accidentally drops a Junior Mint from the top, and it lands inside the body, and he gets an infection.
I mean, he picks up in the bris. Kramer picks up a guy who looks like a pig. Right. Literally has the face of a pig.
He's a man pig, yeah.
Yeah, man pig. Which, again, super funny. But that also isn't going to happen. Which I'm not here to say which one's realistic, because I'm not going to TV for realism. I'm going to escape reality. Which is the reason why I love It's Always Sunny, is because that's the farthest reality can go.
Yeah. No, I like how they stretch it. But I'm just saying, with Seinfeld, I feel like it is more relatable. But if I'm also, let's go character versus character here.
I was just about to.
Okay.
Elaine versus Dee. I'd fuck Elaine, but Dee's way funnier.
Fair. Yeah,
George versus Frank.
In that argument, there's absolutely no contest between funny of Dee and Elaine. I understand that 100%.
Yeah, and Caitlin Olsen versus what's her name? Oh, you have an ant crawling on your beard right there.
Oh,
makes it came from outside. What's her name? What's her fucking name? Elaine.
Oh, Julia Louise-Dreyfus.
Yes, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. There we fucking go. Look at that. Look at that.
I do think she's funny, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, not Sweet Dee funny.
No, not Sweet Dee. And then also, if you look at fucking Kramer, do I need to go into Kramer? Do I need to go into the man that made the character and what he did to ruin his career? Because I can.
No, because that's completely separate.
No one's ever canceled themselves for life on It's Always Sunny by saying some racial slurs.
Yes, but see, the problem is no one else could separate him from Kramer, and that's what drove the man to madness, apparently.
Ah, come on, that's pussy shit. You can't take people calling you Kramer on the street?
No, see, I could, but what I can't take is acting like Michael Richards has anything to do with the character Kramer or Seinfeld being a good show. We separate the two.
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck what happened with Michael. Well, I mean, I do. Fuck him.
I was going to say, you almost trapped yourself there, buddy.
But I'm saying, in this argument, with Kramer, I'm not bringing up Michael Richards.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about UHF. Okay? I'm talking about Seinfeld.
Okay, so just the character of Kramer. We're not talking about the actors then. Okay.
Exactly.
Because I was going to say, you can't really go, what is it, Juilliard, a thespian, right? Because Jason Alexander is like
Right.
a world
So I'm
class
talking
actor.
just character here.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll just start naming off some, just as I'm looking at them.
Well, let's just go from top to bottom. Let's just go with these 4 versus the original 4.
Okay.
We'll leave Frank out of it.
Okay.
Okay, because that doesn't fair. 4 versus 5.
All right, George versus Charlie.
Well, George is the best character in the show, so that's going to be hard. I don't think Charlie's the best. If you would have put him up against anyone else, it would have been tough. But Charlie's my least
Right,
favorite.
that's the reason why I went Charlie, was to see where you stood on that one.
Yeah, George is immediate. That's my favorite. That's
All
like
right,
my...
so already Seinfeld has 1 point then. That's why I like to hear it. All right, so...
It ain't going to stay that way.
All right, so then Kramer or Mac?
Mac, are you kidding me? Mac with the elbows, ocular pat down. Look at those eyebrows. Look at those fucking eyebrows, man.
I mean, I understand.
And then we got
He's
this
funny.
goofy fuck.
Yeah, but the comedy timing, the physicality of Kramer, the way that you just believe it is, I don't know. And I do love Mac. I do.
You don't
but,
think the Kramer bit got old after a while?
I mean, it becomes hacky because of the time. Because, like, if you look at any sitcom from that time, they kind of had, like, a shtick.
When he comes in and the crowd's fucking... He shuts the door. And then the crowd's fucking, shouting and yelling. Girls are fucking coming in.
You can't tell me you don't love a good giddy up.
Yeah.
Everybody
But
does.
not when the other actor's trying to get through their line. And they can't because people are fucking laughing and cheering so much.
Hey, he can't help that he's got fans.
That's an ego.
Shout out Kramer.
Oh my god. No, outshout Kramer. Because he's a fucking asshole. Alright, so we already said D versus... What's her face? Elaine. Right. I would go D any day of the week. Elaine's got funny seconds. But other than that, not for me. Because I don't think the dingo ate your baby. Well, it's not that funny.
And I hate to say this because it's going to go against my permanent record in this argument. But really, if George and Kramer are the only two that you really can put up, in my opinion. Because we all know Jerry's not the actor or the character out of the equation. As much as I love his stand-up, and I love Seinfeld, and I love Jerry on the show, but if you're putting him up against Charlie or Dennis, or Mac even, really anyone on the cast, I don't know that I would choose Jerry.
Say, the thing about Jerry is that there's no substance. With Dennis, it's deep as fuck. They're trying to figure out if he's a murderer, if he's a rapist, right? That's a whole lot of
but
shit
that's
there.
something that you can actually talk about. You want to talk about Michael Richards in real life, okay? You want to shit like that's, talking about Kramer here.
Yeah.
It's not Kramer. But Dennis, on the other hand, is a literal piece of shit.
See,
the character, not the actor. The character.
Yeah, but that's what's charming about him, right?
Yes. He's charming the pants right off of women. Forcefully.
Oh, no. Don't say it like that. Jesus.
Have you seen the show?
Yes, I have. Yes, I've seen the show. But still,
it's a valid point that I'm making.
No, it is a valid point because he is an asshole. He does fucked up shit. But he's deeper than Jerry, and that's where we're going right now.
Actually, fun fact I would say about both shows is that
they're both
casts of characters that are kind of not likable people.
Yeah,
but
just more...
the relatability through it and the comedy allows you to still, they're lovable. Well, Kramer's not really bad, I wouldn't say. Every once in a while he'll do something other than a moocher, but I wouldn't say that Kramer himself is bad. But Jerry does some questionable things. George definitely does.
Jerry snagged a snack out of an old lady's hand. Okay. Right. He has dropped multiple women because of very stupid things. He lost out on one of the prettiest women in the entire show because he asked her if her boobs were real. See, that's the face we all made.
Yeah.
We all shut the TV off in 1995.
She was sensitive. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly. There was a whole episode, okay, dedicated to when men discover what women look like without bras underneath their shirt. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Is that considered clever? Is that considered good television?
Well, you're never going to find a single thing in Seinfeld that's going to match up to a single bad thing that Dennis alone has done. That's not even including the other people.
I'm just saying that he's deeper, right? There's more to him than Jerry. Jerry's just a comedian, and then he fucks.
Right.
This guy is I might kill people, I might rape, but I also am running a bar. I'm the most business savvy. I'm the strategist. I'm the one that gets us out of all the situations. Where Jerry is usually the one that just talking. He's just talking during the situation.
Hey, he usually finds a solution too. He's an idea guy.
Elaine comes in there with the
Not
result.
always. She calls Jerry.
I don't
Everybody,
know about that. I've
hey,
never seen her call Jerry.
Yes, absolutely. Watch the fucking show. Everybody calls Jerry. His phone rings. He answers. They're delivering him a problem, and it's their choice if they want to listen to what he says.
See, it seems more like Jerry is like, come up, and that's about it.
But then sometimes he will be a comedian and give them a funny answer, and then they don't like that either.
Yeah.
But they definitely all call him.
I mean, like we've said already, it is a show based around, just about nothing. Actually, we didn't say that. That is what the show is considered, is that it's about nothing.
Right.
That's the hook to the show,
There's character development.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to the show.
But there's no arc of any sort. You don't see him become like a world famous successful comedian. It's not like about the story of that. It's just, I'm a comedian, and you see me do a bit at the end of, the beginning and end of a show, and they only keep that up till about season 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, and then
the last few seasons they don't do the comedy at the beginning anymore. But other than that, there's no story really, because like Jerry will be dating a woman one episode, and then the next episode's a different woman, and then there may not have been any explanation on why that other girl broke up or anything.
Or he'll date one episode, and the next he'll be like, I haven't been with a woman in 2 months, or whatever. And it's like, well, I don't... That's a, like you said, a big continuity error right there. You're not fixing it. But at the same time, this show has also... They both have jumped the shark, in my opinion. Like, they're not shit shows, but there is a point in the show where they dipped. Mm-hmm. I.e., this picture right here, which is when Dennis leaves. Because to me, Dennis is the grip of what holds the show. And when he left, and again, if you're spoiled, fuck out of here. You came here, so you know who it was going to be.
Well, he left for like 3 episodes anyway, so...
It was the rest of the season. Which was
like
5.
I think it was like maybe 4 or 5 episodes at most.
But still, they haven't really recovered since then.
Yeah.
Because every episode since has been like... It's been good, but it's not what it used to be. Which again,
I don't know. I laughed through the newest season.
When they went to Ireland?
Yeah, there were some funny moments.
But like the last 2 seasons have not been great.
Right.
And then with Seinfeld, when they jumped the shark, in my opinion, is when they stopped doing the comedy. Because the whole thing about, at least for me, and I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, when I'm watching Seinfeld, the thing that is different about it is that there's stand-up before everything. Mm-hmm. There's a stand-up joke, or at least a 30-second, 40-second joke before, a bit. Like, a part of the episode.
And there's a couple episodes where the joke leads into what the episode is about.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just like a bit that they show.
Or that he was just working on.
Right.
Which is amazing.
And I still to this day, I don't know if they're trying to make it look like, oh, he did stand-up last night and this is what happened afterward, or if it's just, hey, watch some stand-up, now watch my show. Yeah. I'm not really sure what the rhyme or reason was there, but I loved it, because they're the only show to do that, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, besides, like, I'm Dying Up Here and
I'm saying,
Hacks, which we need to start watching again, or I need to.
Right. But yeah, I can't think of any other show that... Because there's been a lot of shows, like especially sitcoms, that have had a stand-up as the main person. But I don't think anyone else has done the stand-up going into the show.
Yeah, because even the Carmichael show, they didn't... I don't think he did stand-up on that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So I don't think so.
George Lopez didn't.
Damn, for 99 cents you subscribe to what?
To this magazine.
Time Magazine. What is this saying about Seinfeld, though? Given that Seinfeld's famously a show about nothing, it must have picked for New York City friends sitting around complaining about undermining each other. Yeah, that's about right. Oh, okay, well, here's another thing. Larry David, right, is a fantastic fucking creator. One of the most iconic comedy minds, in my opinion. Curb Your Enthusiasm is top 5 greatest shows never written. Mm-hmm. But the bond between fucking Rob and Charlie and Glenn is something that's fucking insane. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
They started with no money and had never done anything in the business besides, pussyfooting around in commercials and shit, right? And then they finally get their big break. Like, Seinfeld was already a comedian, Larry David was already doing shit, where they were like, yeah, this is it. Like, everything else has failed. I got to use this last $200 to make this pilot episode.
It's crazy that they even gave Jerry a show at the time, because he wasn't the comedian that we know now.
Yeah, that's fair.
And without that show, I don't know that he would have ever reached the heights that he is now. Because
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, at that time, he was on a couple of guest spots on TV shows, and he was still just doing clubs.
But he was huge on the what's the big talk show guy? Not Conan, not Jay Leno.
Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson.
Yeah, he did have a couple.
And they were like huge.
Yeah.
So I think he would have.
And even Larry David, like, he had been in the business for a while, but he hadn't like struck gold yet at this point. I think it was them meeting up that caused the electricity.
But I'm saying when they came out, they were nobodies when the show came out. Where at least when Seinfeld and all that came out, he had his name, and then Larry David at least had his stuff under his belt. Even to this day, people who've never heard of them would look at this show and be like, "Who the fuck are they?"
Right.
Where I would say there's probably more people that have seen the people of Seinfeld. Where
for sure.
you look at Seinfeld again, and you're like, "Yeah, these feel like famous people."
Of course, times were different.
Yeah, exactly. But when you watch the show, because obviously if you look at their socials and realize the people from It's Always Sunny are some of the most, what is it, bougie? Is that where you're rich?
Yeah.
Yeah, that living around. But on the show, you just think that they're like normal ass fucking people, you know? But
yeah, no, I mean, I agree, but I don't know. I just think Seinfeld's better. I can't help it.
All right, so let's say, okay, before we go, because I'm sure it's probably nearing the end, what are things that you don't dislike, and then top 3 favorite characters?
Of Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Okay, things that I dislike.
Because you have to have at least some flaws. Not everything's
Well,
perfect.
I'll say in general, the first season alone is weak.
Yeah,
it's not great. Which I will say I'll give a pass that most TV shows in general. There's a few shows where the first season is like amazing, but for the most part, the first season is just kind of building and they don't have it all figured out yet, and you kind of feel that. On top of that, I think that season 9 as a whole is a little bit too outlandish, and they lost the fire and the
steam,
everything that makes Seinfeld so great. Season 9 kind of loses it. I've grown to love it now as a Seinfeld fan, still loving those episodes, but if you're putting them up against each other, it's weak. And then on top of that, I would say that, like you said earlier, but you can say it about both shows, and really just a TV show in general, but I don't like when any show like finds something that the fan base latches on to, and then they just kind of keep doing it.
Yeah.
But like I said, you can say that about...
I mean, Fresh Prince didn't.
Right, yeah. But any of those shows. Well, Fresh Prince, the thing about... Well, this isn't about Fresh Prince. I'm not going to get into that. We'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, which I don't see anything debate about that. But still, one thing that I didn't say before I go into stuff I don't like about It's Always Sunny is that, to me, when it comes to side characters, they're almost neck and neck. Like, people around the city, people around the main cast are pretty neck and neck for insanity, hilarious, wacky, serious, like, because they have homeless people, they have druggies in both. So it's,
And then they both do a lot of, like, one-off guest spot type episodes, and they're always great characters.
Yeah.
Both shows know how to fucking write.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I do think that Seinfeld is, like, one of the most articulate, well-written, like, it's jokes on top of jokes on top of jokes. Like, and when you're really paying attention to Seinfeld, they all kind of coincide
Besides
together.
No Soup for You. Because No Soup for You is the stupidest fucking thing ever.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. There is some stupid shit.
That, I remember watching that shit when I was a child, and even now, that episode is by far my least favorite.
Right.
Because it's
as much as I love Seinfeld, I will say that It's Always Sunny does have my favorite line in comparison to both shows. So it does get a pass for that one on me. So I'll say that.
Yeah, you have to.
Button in a fur coat is the funniest line of all time. Maybe in TV show history.
Stuff that I do not like about It's Always Sunny before we wrap up. Oh, yeah. There are a lot of episodes that are a little too... you can tell that they were just like, yeah, let's take something offensive and topical and throw it against the wall. Which for me, being topical is more than not is a terrible idea.
Right. But when they do it right, they pull it off fucking well.
But there's a lot of episodes when you watch and you're like, okay, we get it. This was 2007.
Because the abortion episode is probably even more relevant today now
than it ever was. Yeah.
And it paints it in such a perfect way
gun
from
control.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Like, they're not on either side, and they're just assholes playing in the middle trying to get involved on either side, whoever will take them.
One
Brilliant.
guy is trying to fuck the women who got abortions, and the other guy is trying to fuck the women who are against getting abortions. And then they switch halfway and then try to fuck.
Right.
But honestly, if we're going top 3 characters, because I can just run them through real quick, it's Dennis, D, and Mac. That's just easy. And then it would be George, Kramer, and Newman.
Oh, okay, yeah, Newman's a good choice.
So.
I mean, I would still, even though I was kind of not really on his side for a second there, I'm still going to go George, Kramer, Jerry, and then I would say Dennis, D, and Mac. So we agree on that, I think. So.
Oh, actually, no, I'm going to change Kramer to the Doctor and the Briss. So you want to go to that poll?
Alright, let me pull that up real quick.
Oh, he's got to pull up the poll.
Who do you think's winning? If I take another loss.
He's gonna take some L's. He's got hella dollars in his hand.
But this is one time that I actually feel the loss coming. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny wins 6-4.
Oh, okay. Well, there at least was a battle.
60% to 40%.
That's a little closer. That's a little closer.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you to everybody that voted. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Please keep voting. Again, put in the comments what you want to battle. Let us know where you stand on it. Let's discuss it. Let's debate. Let's have some fun. Make sure you check out Vast Difference every Wednesday and 1722 Podcast every Sunday on YouTube and Spotify.
Blah, blah.
Thank you.